In today's episode, let's explore how revenge is the new formula for survival in Indian politics. From social media to the streets, we are seeing one common emotion across media platforms, and that is calls for revenge or hatred. As a result, we see that democratic tolerance and the space for the existence of diverse ideas and discussions is deteriorating rapidly in our country. Whether we take the Jayalalitha versus Karunanidhi case that shocked the whole nation, or Vendetta Politics way back to Indira Gandhi's assassination, or even take the Godhra riots, for example. Vendetta politics has not been new to the Indian political spectrum. But ever since 2014, a slow dissemination of hate into the psyche of people is not only causing distrust, anger, and negative emotions, but this has also led to a slow increase in the kind of revenge politics that is now ruling the roost in our country. So, let me give you an example of how the politics of vendetta is actually ruling roost in our country. Soon after the Pulwama attack, where CRPF Jawans were killed, Navjot Singh Sidhu had posted a tweet about terrorists. Now, this was understood as something that is anti national, and it literally hounded and drove Sidhu out of a popular comedy show. Not only that, the internet was full of boycott Sidhu hashtags. So, this was the amount of hatred that was being spewed on Sidhu soon after his tweet came out. Not only that, but BJP's very well known spokespersons also retweeted these boycott Sidhu tweets. It did not end there. Following that, some people from the BJP even threatened to attack Sidhu openly, and they were so proud of that fact. It clearly shows the kind of revenge that people are trying to seek just because of the intolerance they have. Another example of vendetta politics is from Andhra Pradesh. The YSRCP's constant threats and attacks on TDP Karyakartas is a stark example of how politics of revenge is being practiced, from brutal and violent physical attacks to any tactic and open blackmailing of TDP Karyakartas. The YSRCP has been resorting to any and every tactic it can to scare off the opposition in the state. Whether you take the panchayat polls or any incident of just a small fight, even in a village, it has always been a TDP versus YSRCP fight at the end of the day in Andhra Pradesh. The negative propaganda that has been carefully constructed against Chandrababu Naidu even before the 2019 assembly elections. Now, combined with that is YSRCP's and TRS's attack on the TDP, which has further worsened the TDP's survival in Andhra Pradesh. In AP's case, another interesting point of vendetta politics comes between Chandrababu Naidu versus Narendra Modi. Ever since TDP left the NDA in Jan 2018, the state has been facing the brunt of BJP's vendetta politics by not giving funds, by not fulfilling the promises made in the Bifurcation Act, and completely discarding of Chandrababu Naidu and his politics. The BJP has been clearly indicating that it will allow AP to destroy by itself. Now, this hasn't stopped ever since, and Andhra Pradesh continues to bear the brunt of local as well as national vendetta politics. A clear example of this is the current state of finances as well as development in Andhra Pradesh, which is completely come to a grinding halt. Let's take the example of Trinamool Congress versus the BJP. It is a known fact that BJP and Amit Shah have been warning Mamata Banerjee openly about losing her legislative strength in the assembly ahead of elections this year in the state. From warning her to be out of power soon to false cases on Trinamool Congress MLAs and MPs, the BJP's vendetta politics has crossed limits in every single way. While we see the language of revenge being openly propagated by political parties across India, unfortunately, politicians and political leaders who do not participate in this kind of language use or in vendetta politics actually stand a chance to fade out or have a difficult time surviving in the current political scenario. Now, let me give you an example of this. TDP and Chandrababu Naidu have garnered massive negative propaganda, and that is due to the lack of parties' indulgence in vendetta politics or revenge politics, the way YSRCP indulges. TDP Karyakartas are always instructed by the party high command to show restraint even when provoked. This is also one of the reasons why TDP is facing a massive crisis in AP today. In other states too, several regional parties are facing the same fate as the TDP in front of the BJP or its allies. Given that Indian politics is witnessing revenge as one of the most crucial elements for a political party survival in India today, the ethical question that each of us have to ask is, could fanning emotions of 130 crore people in our country come back to bite us? Wouldn't it be dangerous for our own country someday? This is something each of us need to think about. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel.